Hello, and welcome to the 140th edition of Beer Issues. My name is Matt Bruckert, and I'm coming to you live here from Casa de Bruckert, right in front of the Christmas tree, to have another great Advent calendar beer from Costco. Today, we're going to be sampling the Graminger Kirta, which is a Dunkel Weiss. And I love a good Dunkel Weiss. So let's go ahead and let's waste no time. Now this is from the Costco Advent Calendar, and there's some phenomenal beers in there. They're all small batch German beers that you can't find anywhere that I've found in the United States. So I look forward to this every year, getting a great Advent calendar beer. So you get 24 all different beers from the small batch breweries. Now, the one I like about this, I don't know if you can see this here, but the Graminger Kirta, one of the reasons I love the beer, besides it being a delicious beer, is it's got this little, like, almost devilish looking guy on the front, sitting there drinking a beer and eating a pretzel. And when I think of drinking a good German beer, frequently I think about having a pretzel. I'm not the devil or whatever, but it's a pretty neat little thing. And it's Dunkel Weiss Bier. So I'm very excited about having this. Now, I have had this beer before. I had it last year, and I remember I enjoyed it. And I love the artwork so much on the can. I just decided, hey, we didn't do this one last year. Let's try this one. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to smell this, okay? As you can see, first of all, appearance, you're getting a oranges to amber color. So it almost is in shades. It's a little bit darker in the bottom, oranger in the middle, and then darker in the top where it's a little bit thicker. So anyway, you got a nice head retention. We got a head. I didn't pour too much of a head, but it's retaining, which is nice. So let's smell it. And this is a little bit cloudy, so I'm assuming that means it's an unfiltered Dunkel Weiss. So I get the like roasted malts and a little bit of a fruitiness, and usually a Dunkel Weiss is going to be, you're going to get definitely a malty flavor. So wheat malty, and it does have like a sweetness to it, which is kind of unique. Well, let's waste no time. Let's talk about it before we do that, though. The beer rates 83 out of 100. Is 5.4% ABV, which puts it right in that like German beer category there for a good Dunkel Weiss. So oh wow, it's even a little bit different than last time I had it. It's good, but there's definitely a sweetness. Maybe I tasted this last time, I just don't remember it, but it seems like there's more of a sweetness than your typical Dunkel Weiss. So yeah, you get a sweet, above average sweet for a Dunkel Weiss, I would say. It's very malty. And then you get like a fruity, that sweetness comes from like a fruity flavor that's in there, which just kind of throws me off for a Dunkel Weiss, because the Dunkel Weiss is usually just like a dark wheat beer, like a Hefeweizen. A lot of times you'll get, in a Hefeweizen, you'll get, the bananas, and you get a sweetness that way. But Dunkel Weiss, because it's the darker wheat, you don't typically get that much of a sweetness, but there's something sweet about the beer that I just can't quite put my finger on, but it's it's really good. But I just don't remember that from last year, drinking a Dunkel Weiss that had as much sweetness as that. And it's not a bad thing. It's a delicious beer. It's just not what I was expecting after having it last year. So very, very good beer. It's definitely got sweetness. The beer was originally created as a feast beer. So for like Oktoberfest. So maybe in the whole scheme of making it maybe a cross between a feast beer and a Dunkel Weiss, it got, some different ingredients or something in there that makes it a little bit different. But it definitely does say Dunkel Weiss Bier. So that would definitely, to me, mean that it's a Dunkel Weiss. But a Dunkel Weiss is usually a little bit less sweet than this, but this is delicious. I mean, it's very, very drinkable. Even more drinkable than your typical Dunkel Weiss because it's got a little bit more sweetness to it. So I think it's a delicious beer. I would give it a very high rating. They rated it 83 out of 100. I might give it a little bit higher than that. The brewery, I think, has been around since 1900. They make solid beer. I remember having this beer. Maybe I had one of their other beers last year. Maybe they switched it up on me. And I just was thinking I had the Dunkel Weiss from them. But I remember last year their beer was good. I remember it because of the little double drinking a beer, eating pretzels. So anyway, if you've enjoyed this, make sure you tell your friends about beer issues and how much fun we're having talking about beer and drinking beer. If you want any really cool gear, like a Beer Issues hat, shirt, anything like that, go to shop.beerissues.com where you can find all the cool merchandise. And as my wife likes to say, I have beer issues.